Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm struggling a little bit here with the mic, but I think we have it sorted. It's a different position today. Anyhow, this is the Finance Queen and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm talking about the importance of keeping your business running smoothly, but in silence. You have to keep your business to yourself and do your thing in silence. Nobody just needs to know your business every single time. Some of the things you have to do yourself on your own. So the importance of that is what I wanted to kind of highlight today. Before we get into the first point, it will be nice if you hit the like button. Also, smash that red hot button called subscribe. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, also on Pinterest, The Finance Queen. You can find me with the same name almost everywhere, and you know my face anyway. So let's get into today's subject. Moving in silence is going to be the best thing you will do for your business. And here's the reasons why. First of all, there's always going to be, let's say, interference of opinion. Now, depending on the other person's belief system, some people have a limiting belief system and some people have a very expanded belief system, which I prefer. So depending on their belief system, they are going to interfere. They'll have an opinion which you may not need at that moment. They will have probably a remark, maybe in a negative way, maybe it's some criticism and stuff, and it's just maybe not what you need at that certain period of time, right? Because you're excited that you're starting something, you're excited about the next moves in your business maybe, and you just really want to put it out there to the universe. But this is the biggest mistake you'll ever actually do. Nobody needs to know your business. Why are you so excited jumping all around telling everybody your business? What for? What purpose does that serve for you? If you really feel like you want to talk to someone, why not, hire a coach, talk to them. At least you'll learn something in return, and at least you won't get demotivated and discouraged. Because if you, say out loud your business and the ideas that you're about to work on, some people may say things that will literally demotivate you on the spot. Words are enough to, suck the life out of you and stop you by doing the whole action, basically. Words can be very discouraging, and even if you're a very strong person, as I said, it may just discourage you. It can, honestly, shatter the bestest of us also. As I said, if you want to talk to someone, hire a coach. Talk to me. You can also, maybe buy a diary. I think that is the best thing to do. Write a journal. And now, obviously, not everybody is on that level that they have all that time where they can actually write down things. But you'll be surprised to know that most of the successful people have this one thing in common where they do write. Of course, we all know it's no surprise they read a lot, but they also write. Well, and I'm not talking about writing as in the traditional book writing. I'm talking about writing where you write your ideas. You just treat your diary as a best friend, your journal, let's just call it. Whenever you're traveling, if you're going to a different city, to a different country, you just have it with you in your hand, and every time there is something in your mind, instead of just picking up the phone and talking to random people, just write it down. And I think that will serve you a better purpose, and it will be a bit more healthier for you and for your mindset also. And especially if you're a beginner, honestly, that's the last thing you want to think about, which is discussing anything with other people. And I have to also tell you something very interesting. When I'm talking about other people, I honestly don't just mean friends. I'm also, by that I also mean family, relatives, friends, neighbors, colleagues, class fellows, whatever. Even your partner sometimes. Okay, I'm not going to get into that because that could get a little controversial, because many people love discussing every single thing with their partner, and some people think, okay, wait a minute, let me just sort this out for myself and then I'm going to discuss this thing with my partner. I think that's a more rational thing to do. Definitely sleep on it and then discuss things. But if you know the nature of your partner or your family members or your relatives, your cousins, whatever it may be, make a decision depending on that. I think if you are going to make big moves in life, let's say, then you should be smart enough to already know who to tell your business to and who not to tell anything at all. Don't fall for this trap where, hi, let's come over for dinner, let's eat together and laugh and maybe, watch TV together or whatever. And then in that happy moment, you just literally spill the whole tea. We don't do that mistake here, okay? Here is a very interesting reason why you don't want to tell your business to anybody. Your mind has its own kind of mental reward system, let's just call it. This is our second point, mental reward system. So when you speak of things, your mind really doesn't know if practically that thing has been done or not, correct? And so when you start speaking about things, it's like, ooh, now your mind starts to feel very excited and happy and, I don't know, satisfied, let's say. And so as soon as you start speaking about things, have you noticed how once you're finished, done with the conversation, you feel a little relaxed all of a sudden, as if you have accomplished something? Have you noticed that? You talk about your big plans and your big moves, and all of a sudden you're like, that's what I'm gonna do. Yes. And you feel so satisfied and happy all of a sudden. So your mind automatically thinks that you have already finished the target, like mission accomplished already, you know? And now it's like relaxing, it's happy. It's like this dopamine hit all of a sudden. And after a while it goes down again. And then you realize, that was just in the moment, just for a moment. You had that dopamine excitement and stuff like that, you know? It's gonna vanish, it's gonna go away. You're going to be still stuck with the same position where you were yesterday, which is to still have to execute the plan in reality, which you still haven't yet. But just because you talked about it, it kind of satisfied you, made you feel happy, and your mind was rewarding that, you know, as in, yeah, you've already done it. Oh, wow, winner, yay. But you actually haven't. Another scientific reason you should never tell your business until the thing is done, whatever it may be. You know, whether it's your business, whether it's your self-development, whether it's your self-grooming, whatever you're working on at the moment, I highly suggest keep it to yourself for now. I think it's a very fun and satisfying thing also for your soul if you just let people just stay confused. Stay confused. Let them be confused about what's going on with Esha. I wonder what she's up to. I wonder what's next. I wonder what she's working on right now. I wonder why she's not going out too much. I wonder. Because Esha is busy doing things, building up a team, setting up systems, right? And that require patience, time, your energy. It actually requires everything from you, even your soul sometimes. Let's just put it like that, okay? What it doesn't require is for me to sit down with people and gossip and tell them every single thing that I'm doing or every single thing that I'm going to do. Because whatever I'm going to do may not even ever happen because, there was this nasty, evil interference. Our next point would be the silent struggle. I mean, I'm sure you've heard, you know, you were born, you come into this world alone and then you die alone. What they forgot to tell us is actually that we also have to struggle alone, you know? And it's okay. It's okay. I think in this journey, whatever journey you have embarked on, make sure that you have a correct path. You have a strategy, a structure to follow. You only talk to professionals, and on this journey of building an empire, create your own tribe, you know, your team, your support system, your friend, your guide, your mentor, your coaches, whatever, your teachers, anything. You need a support system, and you're going to find that on your way up. You're going to find that, you know, sometimes you're going to find it through random stranger people. Sometimes it could be one of your friends that, you know, you linked up after like a decade or so, you know, and then all of a sudden you have like this best friend back in life who actually truly is good for your well-being, you know. And you know what the funny thing is, talking about friends, I remember this one thing. The other day my friend was discussing this thing with me where whatever plan she has in her coaching business, she always tells it to her father. And so the father is a very extra protective father. She's a very pretty girl, so I get it. Parents can be very overprotective of young girls, obviously. And so she has this thing where she can never execute and finish the target because the father always has something to say, which puts her off. And somehow, eventually, even if it doesn't put her off, the thing really never happens, you know. And that is where I had to break it to her that, you know, girl, honey, I'm so sorry. Nothing against your parents, but you guys have to realize and understand your parents are human beings. And they don't always come with a manual, obviously we know that, but they also never come with a trained, perfect mindset, you know, and especially if you're somebody who is on a middle level and wants to upgrade, someone maybe who is very poor and really wants to do well and stuff. Your parents already have the mindset, which is why you have the life that you do, right? You want to upgrade, guess what? Your parents' mindset may not even go well with yours. You know, you are probably here learning and struggling and, you know, creating new patterns and learning from new people, which are very different than to what your parents think. And so they may not agree with a lot of things that you say or the way you do things. It's a whole different world for them, you know. So with due respect, try to kind of deal with that in a patient, calm, respectable way. But at the same time, don't fall for that mindset, because it's going to just take you back right there. And then you're never going to really grow, you know. And so, yeah, that's one point about parents that I had to really put in there, because parents, yeah, they're not as perfect as we all want them to be, you know. You're lucky if maybe their mindset is probably way better than yours, let's say, way more success driven or whatever. If that is the case, then of course you're lucky you have the right kind of guidance on your side. But many of us actually don't have that. So you're on your own in this, and you'll have to somehow navigate this whole path, and try not to have too many fights. Try to make them agree to things, but you'll have to understand that not everybody will be on your side, and you cannot really discuss every single thing. Stop discussing every single thing. Do the things, and then once things are done, be like, hey, I won. Hello. And coming back to friends, let's not even get there. When you fail, they pity you, and when you win, they show desperation. You get the point. You're smart enough. Next point, beware of villains. Steer clear of villains, you guys. Villains are the ones that are going to give you a lot of criticism, negativity, always have nasty things to say, and then guess what? At the end, they're going to label that as, oh, I was just trying to give you constructive criticism. Right, as if we needed that. If we needed constructive criticism, we go to who? Mentors, coaches, guides, teachers. We go to someone who has written books, or someone who we aspire to be. We listen to someone who has done better in life. We don't listen to the random Tom, Dicks and Harrys. What constructive criticism are you trying to give me here anyway? Correct? We don't need that here. So block that kind of energy off, because whether you're going to succeed in your business or on your journey or not, it has a lot to do with your energy. So keep that energy high, and everything else that's not on the same wavelength, you have to just like reject it, like not even let it come through, and just bye-bye. Because one thing to remember is that negativity and criticism just kind of kills your motivation. It's not even about, you know, constructive criticism or whatever. If you have not asked for it, you honestly, you don't need it. Whether it's online or offline, no one needs kind of unsolicited advice and opinions and suggestions. Last point, remember everything that you're doing at the moment is for you, it's not for others. And that's another reason why you cannot tell your business to people, okay? Whatever you do at the moment should have a reason. And that reason should be why you should be, you know, motivated enough and keep things very private to yourself so you can keep growing. Your why should be big enough, reasonable enough for you, crazy enough, where you're like, okay, I don't need anything else. My why is big enough to give me all of that motivation that I need. My why is reasonable enough for me to stay on my path and stay on my lane and not listen to anybody else. My why is big enough for me, and it's for me. It's not for others. The reason I'm working is not for others, right? I don't need validation, do I? You don't need validation from me either, do you? Does that make sense? So whatever you do is for you. Keep it to yourself. And on that note, you guys, I shall end this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do watch my other videos also if you like content I've talked about. Ways to make passive income. We've talked about cryptocurrencies. We've talked about a lot of things on this channel. It may just motivate you to stay on your path and stay on your lane. And I shall see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourself and take care of your finances, because that's very important.